What's up, Broncos fans? Preseason week 1 is in the books, and if you guys loved the outcome, which I know I did, then go down and subscribe so we can give you more Broncos breakdown content, get you loaded for the regular season, get you up to date with all the latest Broncos news and rumors. So go down and smash that big red subscribe button. Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown. I'm Mathew Peterson, and today we've got some winners and losers for you guys after week 1 of the 2021 NFL preseason. And man, does it feel good to say football is back, and so are the Broncos, and what a way to start the year. How about a 33-6 win in Minnesota against the Vikings? First time many Vikings fans came out to watch their hometown team in nearly 600 days, and not a lot for them to watch, but the Bronco faithful that made the trip over to Minnesota, they have plenty to watch in that 33-6 victory. It was led by Drew Locke, the quarterback, in his third season out of Missouri, former second-round pick. Had some question marks coming into this season, to say the least. A quarterback battle between him and Teddy Bridgewater, but he may have put himself ahead of Teddy after dropping 2 touchdowns over 150 yards. Just a beautiful performance for Locke, and that's one of our first and probably the biggest winner of this one. So let's get into my winners from the preseason week 1 victory against the Vikings, and let's get started with Drew Locke. Quarterback number 1, QB3 on his jersey, but he looked like QB1 out on the gridiron. Just 5 for 7, small sample size, but not small numbers for a quarter and a half of play. 151 yards, 2 touchdowns for Locke, one of them coming on a huge 80-yard touchdown dime to KJ Hamler. He's another winner. Won't see him in the video. Had to trim somewhere because guess what? Everyone's a winner in this video. I mean, that's truly the honest, that's the honest here opinion after this huge win for the Broncos. I mean, sure, you want to win in the preseason, but that's not what you look for. It's just the preseason. You look for more player development than actually wins and losses, but everyone won. And speaking of everyone, let's keep it on the offensive side. Trinity Benson. Absolutely. You've heard of him, right? Yeah, who hasn't heard of him? That's because he's just a rookie out of East Central University. Yeah, you heard that right. East Central University out of Oklahoma, but he was playing like an all-pro today. 2 touchdowns on 4 receptions, 36 yards. Benson was just lighting up the gridiron. He came into this preseason as a bubble player, and this is a Broncos team you'd like to be a bubble player on if you're a receiver, because you know they'll take a couple extra receivers given their approach and the way they like to spread the field, and Benson is surely making the case for him to be on that 53-man roster. By far one of the biggest winners today. On the defensive side, let's check out PJ Locke, a safety also on that bubble, right on the fringe of making the roster. The Broncos got a great secondary, so it's not a lot of wiggle room for these underrated guys in PJ Locke, but he was all over the field. 6 tackles, 3 pass breakups, a couple of them in key situations as well. So Locke doing everything he can to make the case to put him on that Broncos 53-man roster. Biggest winner of all? Hard to say. I got to go with Drew Locke, though, only because he came into this preseason knowing that Teddy Bridgewater was going to be breathing down his neck, and this first game would be a huge game to maybe propel himself and slingshot himself into the lead, and he absolutely did that. But overall, how about just the Denver Broncos team? Team effort, no major injuries to any starters. So as this team boards their plane to fly back to Denver, you know the entire medical staff is having a huge sigh of relief. Just 2 ankle injuries coming out of this one, so nothing major. Offense and defense score 2. And that's what you want to see. You want everyone happy. The coordinators on the sideline and up in the press box. You got a safety. You got a pick 6 from PS2. And then how about a huge mile-high smile to start the preseason? Can I get too into the weeds of the puns this early? We're going to find out, but a big mile-high smile for everyone on that Broncos sideline. So, guys, predict it. Let me know. After this first week of the preseason, what's their regular season record going to be? Is it inflated after seeing 1 week, or is it, hey, it's just the preseason, cut this talk out? Let me know. Pop down in the comments. Let me know what that Broncos regular season record will be. Predict it for me. Unfortunately, with winners, there are losers in life too. I don't write the rules. That's just the way it works. So even though this game basically has no losers, when you win 33-6, you're not going to be looking at any film and going, this is crap, this is garbage. You're going to love it all. Sure, there's some things you can nitpick and improve, but biggest losers for me, how about Vic Fangio and George Payton? You know why? Because their job just got a lot harder. They're looking for reasons to cut players. Sure, they want the best talent on the field, but they've got to trim it down to 53 people. And when everyone performs like that, that makes their life kind of hell. So while they're enjoying the win, don't get me wrong, when they have to go and look over the entire roster and find players to cut, no one made a simple case for them to get cut after this game. So their job just got a lot harder. But hey, that's the price of paying. That's the price you pay when you've got a great team like the Broncos have so far. Other losers, Teddy Bridgewater, not a real big loser. He played well, don't get me wrong, 7 for 8, 74 yards and a score, but he didn't play as well as Drew Locke. And when you're in a quarterback race, you need to outdo the other guy. It's not about keeping your head above water. You want to get on the boat, and that boat's the starting boat. And look at the stats here between the two of them. Again, each player only played about 17 to 20 snaps, so these aren't big sample sizes. You can't have huge takeaways from this, but this will ultimately decide after 3 weeks of preseason football and all of training camp who's going to be starting week 1. And right now, Drew Locke has himself in the driver's seat for that race. But guys, get down in the comments again. Let me know, what winners and losers did I miss? Could it be PS2? Absolutely, he's a huge winner. A pick 6 in his Broncos debut. There's really an endless number of winners in this one. I try to pick the 3 biggest ones, so I went with Drew Locke and then 2 bubble guys who are trying to make the roster. But let me know if you think I missed an obvious one down in the comments. Once again, that final 33-6 from Minneapolis. Broncos off to a fantastic start in the preseason, but it's all about player development. Sure, you like to win, and sure that plane ride's going to be a little more enjoyable now when you come into a new a foreign stadium on the road and knock off the home team, but, it's preseason. As pumped as I am to have football back, and that's what we love at the end of the day, we're waiting for the regular season. But before we get there, we've got some more preseason games to go to. So how about next weekend? Broncos in Seattle taking on the Seahawks. Let me know the score. Get down in the comments for one last time. Predict the score for me. If you think the Broncos are going to win, and I sure hope so, by how much? And if you think not, don't even bother putting anything down there. I'm just kidding. But we'd love to see all the Broncos scores and predictions for that Seahawks matchup next weekend down in the comments.